Let's go.
Okay, I've just completed the final assembly and maiden flight of the new Dynam Peaks 42-inch biplane model, 3D biplane. The model is basically a scale model of the Pitts Model 12 full-scale airplane. The full-scale Pitts Model 12 was Curtis Pitts' 12th design, which he did around his 80th birthday. And the full-scale model, of course, is designed for the Russian M14, I think it is, MP14 radial engine. Anyways, this model most closely duplicates it. They call it the Peaks. I suspect that was a trademark infringement issue, why they called it that. So what I want to do is take this opportunity to discuss some of the issues I encountered building the airplane and some characteristics on its maiden flight and some questions I had before I got into this airplane. A couple of things about the characteristics of this model is it's a rather large model. It's a large four-channel model. It most closely replicates the Goldberg Ultimate biplane. So with that being said, what I'm saying is this is not a small park flyer. This is a real large size model. It needs a pretty much a full-size flying field to fully enjoy. But in addition to flying like a Goldberg Ultimate biplane, this biplane offers quite a bit additional 3D flying capability. This is not a beginner's model. This, I would say, would be your third or fourth model after you've got a good amount of four-channel experience. On the maiden flight, this model flew absolutely hands-off. On the first flight, I only had to add a notch or two of down elevator trim. Take the time to carefully set up your push rods and control throws when you assemble the airplane. The first question I had for the manufacturer is what are the battery leads coming off the ESC, and they are these banana style battery leads. I bought the RTF kit, a great bargain. The kit comes very complete, including this magnetic magnetic Phillips head screwdriver to assemble the airplane. About the only other additional tool you need is a pair of pliers to hold the nuts, and the kit even comes with the glue. The only issue I had on assembly of the model was the rudder servo was inoperative. I highly recommend most modelers would do this with some experience to check the radio gear before you start assembling the wing assembly, because once you assemble this wing, it's pretty hard to get in here to get to the receiver to check or troubleshoot any radio problems. I thought the rudder servo was inoperative. However, it's got a lead extension added onto it, and that lead extension was simply plugged in backwards or upside down. So once I got that straightened out, it worked just fine. However, these servos are not only screwed but glued into the foam, and it's very difficult to get these servos out of the foam. I was able to contact Nitroplanes after a long hold time on the telephones, tech support, and they worked with me a little bit on this and are going to send me a new rudder servo, because I kind of narfed this one up in an effort to get it out of the foam to get it fixed. There is some leftover hardware at the end of the assembly, at least I hope there is. And these things are put together with two different types of hardware, basically these self-tapping screws and the machine screws. There is no screw guide in the manual. However, if you have a ruler in millimeters, the plans tell you what length of screw, what size of screw to put in each application. So you can reference that off of a millimeter ruler. The machine screws are primarily used in the assembly of the wings, here at the cabanes and struts. The rest of the screws are all pretty much self-tapping screws. Another interesting design characteristic is there are 4 push rods that you need to assemble in this model, and they've located the servos such that all 4 push rods that you need to assemble are all exactly the same length, so you can't possibly goof that up. One more thing about this rudder servo, I've seen a lot of videos, Maiden Flights of this model, where folks have the rudder control going backwards. This one servo, because of its location and the way the control rods are, this is the one servo that you're going to need to reverse on the transmitter to get it to operate in the correct direction. That being said, let's review control throws for these models. Now this control throws check, though, is a second nature for old-time modelers. We got a lot of folks that are getting into this modeling hobby for the first time because of these foam model airplanes are so cheap and prolific from China now, that we need to review the basics of control throws, and the manual does a horrible job of explaining this. One neat new feature about these new electric airplanes and the transmitters they come with is this safety switch I've discovered here, so that you can't accidentally throw the throttle to the airplane even though the rest of the controls are hooked up, and blow the airplane off the kitchen table here. So with the safety switch pulled towards you, the throttle is locked out. With the safety switch forward, the throttle moves. So, left rudder, stick to the left, rudder to the left. Right rudder, stick to the right, rudder to the right. Up elevator, elevator back, elevator up. Nose of the aircraft climbs. Elevator forward, elevator down, nose of the aircraft dives. Left aileron is up, right aileron is down. The aircraft rolls to the left. Right aileron, the left aileron is down, the right aileron is up, the aircraft rolls to the right. Left, right. Control check complete. So for only $222 out the door, I got the extra battery, an extra prop, and that includes tax and shipping here into California. The Dynam Peaks represents an outstanding value. And by the way, shipping time on this was only 2 days from Nitroplanes, so they got the aircraft here in the United States ready to ship quickly.
Let's go.
That looks like a crop duster.